My mother-in-law didn't know I was paying $5,600 a month in rent. She told me to move out so her oldest son and his wife could start a family. The next day, I called movers and packed everything I owned suddenly. She was terrified. My mother-in-law stood in my kitchen like she owned it. "You should move out," she said, voice casual as if she were suggesting I try a different brand of coffee. "Michael and Jessica need this place. They're trying to start a family. They need the space more than you and Amy do." I froze. Mug halfway to my lips. She didn't ask, didn't explain, didn't even look uncomfortable. She just decided. My wife Amy sat at the kitchen table scrolling through her phone. She glanced up for half a second when her mother spoke, then went back to Instagram. No defense, no objection, not even a flinch. That hurt worse than Patricia's words. "My name is Jason Chen. I'm 32 years old. Work as a financial analyst for a mid-sized tech company. And I'd been married to Amy Thornton for 3 years. We lived in a 4-bedroom house in Westchester County, New York. Nice neighborhood, good schools, the kind of place young families kill themselves to afford." Patricia Thornton, my mother-in-law, had been a constant presence since day one of our marriage. She had opinions about everything. Our furniture, our meal plans, how we spent our weekends, where we should vacation. I'd learned early to just nod and stay quiet. The easy son-in-law. The one who didn't make waves, who smiled at family dinners and helped with dishes without being asked, who kept his mouth shut when Patricia made passive-aggressive comments about my career not being as impressive as her other children's. For 3 years, I'd been functionally invisible. And functionally, I'd been fine with that until this moment. "When were you thinking?" I asked quietly. Patricia waved her hand. "Oh, not immediately. Maybe in a month or 2. Michael's lease is up in August, so that gives you time to find something smaller, more appropriate for just the 2 of you. More appropriate translation, cheaper." I set my mug down carefully. Looked at Amy. She still wasn't looking at me. "Okay," I said. Patricia smiled. "I knew you'd understand. You're always so reasonable, Jason." She left 20 minutes later. Already texting Michael with the good news, I assumed. Amy finally looked up from her phone. "You're not actually mad, are you?" "Why would I be mad?" "I don't know. You seem tense." I laughed. "Couldn't help it. Your mother just told me to move out of my own house." "It's not your house," Amy said automatically, then caught herself. "I mean, it's ours, but Mom has a point. Michael and Jessica need the room. We don't have kids yet." "Yet," I repeated. "You know what I mean." I did know what she meant. She meant her family came first, had always come first, and I'd been too accommodating to notice. That night, I lay in bed staring at the ceiling while Amy slept soundly beside me. I thought about the rent checks I'd been writing for 3 years. $5,600 every month from my account on time every single time. Amy contributed to groceries and utilities, maybe $800 a month total. Her income as a part-time social media manager was inconsistent, sometimes good, usually not. Patricia assumed this house was family property, that it belonged to the Thorntons somehow, that I was living here out of their generosity. She had no idea, and neither did Amy, apparently. I'd handled all the bills so quietly, so efficiently that it had become invisible labor. Background noise, something that just happened without anyone thinking about it. I rolled over and looked at Amy's sleeping face. When had I become so easy to dismiss? I slept better that night than I had in months. Because once Patricia told me to leave, I finally had permission to stop holding everything together. The next morning at 8:47 a.m., I called Precision Movers, not for a quote, to book them. "I need a full-service move," I told the scheduler, a woman named Rita who'd been with the company for 12 years according to her email signature. 4-bedroom house. "I want to be out by this Saturday." "This Saturday?" She sounded surprised. "That's 5 days from now." "I know. Can you do it?" "We can do it. It'll cost extra for the rush." "That's fine. And you'll need to pay the deposit today. $2,400. I gave her my card number without hesitation. After I hung up, I sat at my home office desk, the desk I'd bought at IKEA 2 years ago, and assembled myself while Amy was at her mother's house, and pulled up my files. I had spreadsheets, years of them, rent payments, furniture receipts, appliance purchases, every major expense in this house, tracked and categorized like the financial analyst I was. The couch in the living room, $2,800, purchased October 2021, my credit card. The Samsung 65-inch TV, $400, purchased December 2021, my credit card. The KitchenAid dishwasher, $900, my credit card. The Whirlpool washer and dryer set, $1,600, my credit card. The dining table and chairs, $3,200, my credit card. The guest bedroom furniture, $1,900, my credit card. I'd bought nearly everything in this house. Patricia called it family property. I called it mine. I started packing Tuesday afternoon methodically. Clothes first, personal documents second, books and electronics third. I didn't touch anything that wasn't definitively mine, which turned out to be less than they'd expect. Around 4:00 p.m., Amy came home from a coffee date with her sister. She dropped her purse on the entryway table, the table I'd bought, and called out, "Jace, you home?" "Office," I replied. She appeared in the doorway, saw the boxes. Her smile faltered. "What's this? Packing for what?" "I'm moving out, like your mother asked." Her face went through several expressions. Confusion, disbelief, then something that might have been panic. "I didn't think you were serious." "Why wouldn't I be serious?" "Because," she gestured vaguely. "Because it's a lot of work and we don't have to do this right away." Mom was just thinking out loud. She told me to move out so Michael could move in. "I'm moving out, but where will you go?" "I signed a lease yesterday. 1 bedroom in White Plains, closer to my office." That was a lie. I'd signed it that morning, but the look on Amy's face made the small deception worth it. "You already signed a lease without talking to me." I looked at her. Really looked. "Did you talk to me before your mother told me to leave?" She had no answer for that. Wednesday morning, Patricia showed up unannounced. At 10 a.m., I was in the living room wrapping picture frames in bubble wrap when I heard her key in the lock. She'd had a key since we moved in. I'd never questioned it. She stopped in the doorway, shopping bags in hand, and stared at the half-empty living room. 4 boxes stacked by the door, the TV already wrapped, the coffee table cleared. "Jason, what's going on?" "I'm moving out." The shopping bag slipped from her fingers. "What? You told me to move out." "I'm moving out." Her face tightened. "I didn't mean this week." "When did you mean?" "I don't know. August, September. When Michael's lease is up." "You said I should move out." "You didn't specify a timeline, so I picked one." She turned toward the kitchen, voice rising. Amy, what is happening?" Amy emerged from the bedroom where she'd been hiding since her mother's car pulled up. "Mom, I don't know. He just started packing." "Make him stop." "I can't make him do anything." Patricia turned back to me, and I saw something shift in her expression. The entitled confidence cracked just slightly. "This is unreasonable," she said. "You're being childish." I taped a box shut, wrote books, office on the side with a Sharpie, said nothing. "Jason, I'm talking to you." "I heard you. Then respond." I straightened, looked at her. "You told me to move out." "I'm moving out." That's my response. Her jaw worked. "We need to discuss this like adults." "I'm open to discussion." "What would you like to discuss?" "Your attitude, for one thing." "My attitude is cooperative. You asked me to leave." "I'm leaving." "You know what I meant." "Do I?" The question hung in the air like smoke. Patricia's face flushed. "This house needs to stay in the family." "It's not in the family," I said quietly. "It's a rental. Michael needs it. Then Michael can rent it." "He can't afford." She stopped, caught herself, but too late. "Can't afford what?" I asked. "The $56,600 monthly rent." All color drained from her face. Amy's head snapped up. "What?" I kept my eyes on Patricia. "You didn't know the rent amount." I assumed it was split somehow. "Or covered by." She stopped again. "Covered by who?" She said nothing. "You thought it was covered by the family trust," I supplied. "Or maybe you thought Amy's father was still paying it before he passed." "Jason," Amy said sharply. "What are you talking about?" I turned to my wife. "I've been paying the rent every month for 3 years. $5,600 from my account." Amy's face went blank. "That's not possible. Check the bank statements." "You never told me." "You never asked." The silence that followed was suffocating. Patricia sat down heavily on the couch. My $2,800 couch. Her hands shook slightly. "Who's going to pay it if you leave?" she asked quietly. I didn't answer because we both knew. Nobody. Thursday, the movers arrived with boxes and packing supplies. 2 guys, Marcus and Tyler, both in their late 20s, both professional and efficient. They moved through the house systematically, wrapping furniture, loading boxes, asking which items were mine. "All of them," I said. "All of it." Patricia showed up again at noon. She'd been calling all morning. I hadn't answered. She walked into the living room and stopped cold. The couch was wrapped in plastic, ready to load. The TV already in the truck. The dining table disassembled. "You can't take everything," she said. "I can take what I paid for." "This is absurd." I handed her a folder. Receipts, purchase confirmations, credit card statements. Everything in this house that I bought is highlighted. She opened the folder, flipped through pages. Her face went from pink to white. The dining table mine, the appliances, mine, the couch mine. She looked around the rapidly emptying house like she was seeing it for the first time. "What are we supposed to sit on?" she whispered. I almost laughed. "That's not my problem." Amy appeared from the bedroom. She'd been crying. Her eyes were red and puffy. "Mom, He's taking the washer and dryer. Patricia's head snapped up. You can't. I can, I said. I have the receipts, but you need. I cut her off. 3 days ago, you told me to leave. You didn't ask what I was paying. You didn't ask what I owned. You just decided I should go. So, I'm going and I'm taking what's mine. Marcus wheeled out the washer on a dolly. Patricia watched it go like she was watching a funeral procession. Jason, please. Her voice cracked. We can work this out. No, I said quietly. We can't. Why not? Because you never respected me enough to ask. By 6 p.m. Thursday, the house was gutted. No couch, no TV, no dining table, no appliances except the ones that came with the house. Even the good cookware was gone. I'd bought all of it after Amy's ancient pans kept burning everything. Amy sat on the bedroom floor, surrounded by the furniture I'd left, her dresser, her nightstand, her childhood desk that Patricia had insisted we keep. I didn't know, she said when I came to get my last box. I swear I didn't know you were paying for everything. How could you not? No, I thought we were splitting it. I thought. She stopped, started crying again. I'm sorry. Sorry isn't enough. What do you want me to say? Nothing. There's nothing to say. I picked up my box, started to leave. Jason, I paused. Are we getting divorced? I thought about it, really thought. I don't know yet, I said honestly, but I'm done being invisible. Friday morning, my phone exploded. Texts from Patricia, from Amy's sister, Jessica, from Michael himself. We need to talk. This is insane. You're destroying the family. Mom is devastated. I blocked Patricia, muted the group chat, but then a number I didn't recognize called. I almost didn't answer. Jason Chen speaking. This is Raymond Kowalski, the landlord. I need to discuss your lease. My stomach dropped. What about it? Your mother-in-law called me this morning. Said you're moving out and that her son Michael will be taking over the lease. That's not how leases work. I'm aware. He sounded tired. But she's insisting. And I need clarity. You're the only name on the lease. If you're leaving, I need 30 days notice and the unit returned to move-in condition. I gave notice yesterday. Email sent at 9 a.m. I got it, but Mrs. Thornton seems to think Mrs. Thornton doesn't get to think anything. I interrupted. I'm the leaseholder, not her, not my wife. Me. Understood. So, to be clear, you're terminating the lease effective 30 days from yesterday. Yes, and no one else will be assuming it. Correct. There was a pause. Mrs. Thornton is going to be upset. That's not my problem. He actually laughed. Fair enough. I'll send you the move-out checklist. After I hung up, I pulled up my banking app, transferred the final month's rent, $5,600, and added a note, final payment. Then I called my lawyer. His name was David Brennan, 46, 22 years, practicing family law. I'd consulted him Wednesday night just to understand my options. David, it's Jason Chen. Jason, how'd the move go? Finished yesterday, but I need advice. Shoot, my wife and her family are losing their minds. They're calling, texting, showing up at my new place. Can I get a restraining order? Against your wife, against my mother-in-law. He was quiet for a moment. You'd need to prove harassment or threatening behavior. Do you have documentation? 73 texts since yesterday. 12 calls. She showed up at my apartment this morning at 6 a.m. That might qualify. Forward me everything. I'll draft a cease and desist first. If she ignores it, we escalate. How long will that take? I can have the cease and desist letter sent today. Certified mail. She'll get it tomorrow. Do it. Saturday morning, Patricia received the letter. I know because she called me from a number I hadn't blocked yet. Jessica's phone. You sent me a legal letter. Her voice was shrill. From a lawyer. You wouldn't stop contacting me. I'm your mother-in-law. You're a woman who told me to leave my home and is now harassing me because I did exactly what you asked. This is cruel, Jason. No, I said quietly. Cruel was dismissing me for 3 years. Cruel was assuming I was just furniture you could rearrange whenever convenient. This is just consequences. She started crying. Actual crying. We're going to lose the house. That's not my problem. Where are we supposed to go? Figure it out like I had to. I hung up. Blocked Jessica's number too. Monday morning, I got an email from Raymond Kowalski. Subject: early termination, 47 Oakmont Drive. Jason, your mother-in-law came to my office this morning with her son, Michael. They want to assume the lease. I explained that would require a new application, credit check, income verification, and first month plus security deposit. Michael's credit score is 580. His income is $42,000 a year. He doesn't qualify. Mrs. Thornton offered to co-sign, but she's retired and living on a fixed income. Also doesn't qualify. I've notified them they have until September 1st to vacate. I wanted you to know in case they contact you again. Thanks for being a good tenant. Ray. I read the email 3 times, then I forwarded it to David Brennan with a note. For your records, the family implosion happened fast. Amy's sister Jessica called me Tuesday night from a different number. I answered because I was curious. Jason, please, Mom is having panic attacks. Michael and I can't afford to take her in. You have to help. Why would I help? Because you're family. I was family when I was convenient. When I was paying for everything and staying quiet. Now that I'm inconvenient, I'm disposable. That's not fair. Life's not fair, Jessica. You'll figure that out soon. She hung up on me. Wednesday, Amy showed up at my office. Building security called first. Mr. Chen, there's an Amy Thornton here to see you. Should I send her up? No, tell her I'm unavailable. She says it's urgent. It's not. Through my office window, I watched her leave the building. She looked smaller, somehow defeated. My phone buzzed. A text. Amy, I filed for separation. You'll get the papers soon. I thought you should know. I stared at that message for a long time. Then I replied, okay. That night, I met with David Brennan again. This time with an accountant, Linda Torres, CPA, 19 years experience in forensic accounting. Here's what we've got, Linda said, spreading papers across the conference table. 3 years of rent payments, $21,600 total, all from your account, 0 from Amy's. She pulled up another document. Furniture and appliances, $23,800. Home office equipment, $8,400. Kitchenware and basics, $4,200. Total documented purchases, $36,400. So, $238,000 total I put into that house, plus utilities, groceries, maintenance, but let's stick to the verifiable expenses. Yes, $238,000. David leaned forward. In a divorce, this matters. You can claim reimbursement for the rent. It's not marital property since it was a rental. The furniture is yours and already removed, but we can potentially recover some funds depending on how the settlement goes. I don't want her money, I said. I want her to understand what she lost. Revenge isn't a legal strategy, David said carefully. It's not revenge, it's clarity. Linda closed her folder. For what it's worth, I've seen a lot of financial manipulation in divorces, people hiding assets, lying about income, but I've never seen someone quietly paying for everything while being treated like they contributed nothing. She paused. That's a special kind of invisible. I'm not invisible anymore, I said. 3 weeks after I moved out, Patricia called from yet another number. I answered because I was feeling generous or maybe just curious. Jason, her voice was different. Quiet, defeated. I need to apologize. Okay, I didn't know. I swear I didn't know you were paying for everything. Yes, you did. I didn't. You knew, Patricia. You just didn't care because in your mind, I was supposed to pay. I was supposed to be grateful for the privilege of being part of your family. You never asked because you never thought you had to. Silence. The landlord is evicting us, she finally said. Michael can't afford anywhere decent. Jessica won't help. Amy's moving back in with me into my retirement condo. I'm 64 years old, Jason. I'm supposed to be traveling. Instead, I'm sharing a 2-bedroom with my daughter because her husband left. I didn't leave, I corrected. You told me to. I know. Do you really know? Her voice cracked. Yes, good. Because for 3 years, I bent over backwards trying to fit into your family, trying to be what you wanted, and the second I stopped being useful, you tried to remove me like furniture, like I didn't matter. You mattered. No, I said quietly. I was convenient. There's a difference. I hung up before she could respond. 2 months after I moved out, the divorce papers were finalized. Amy didn't contest anything, didn't ask for alimony, didn't fight over assets, she just signed. David called me with the news. It's official. You're divorced. Clean split. No ongoing obligations. That was fast. She didn't want to drag it out. Honestly, I think she feels guilty. She should. Jason. He paused. I've been doing this a long time. I've seen ugly divorces, vicious custody battles, financial warfare. This is about as civil as it gets. She could have fought you on a lot of things. She didn't because she knew she was wrong probably. But give her credit for that at least. I thought about it, about Amy crying on the bedroom floor, about her mother's voice cracking on the phone. Maybe, I said 3 months after I moved out, I got a Facebook message from Michael. I thought you should know. Mom had a heart attack. She's okay, but the stress of everything, the doctors said it was related. She's in the hospital in White Plains if you want to visit. I stared at that message for 2 hours. Then I drove to the hospital. White Plains Hospital, 4th floor, cardiology wing. I found Patricia's room at 4:17 p.m. She was asleep, monitors beeping softly. She looked older, smaller. Amy was sitting in the chair beside the bed. She looked up when I walked in. Her eyes went wide. Jason. Michael messaged me. You came. I came. We sat in silence for a few minutes. Patricia's breathing was steady. The monitors beeped their rhythm. I'm sorry, Amy finally said, for all of it. For not seeing how much you did. For not defending you. For letting mom treat you like you didn't matter. I know. Do you? I looked at her. I know you're sorry, but sorry doesn't fix 3 years of being invisible. I know that, too. Patricia stirred. Her eyes fluttered open. Took a moment to focus. When she saw me, she froze. Jason. Hi, Patricia. Why are you here? Because despite everything, I'm not cruel. Her eyes filled with tears. I lost everything. No, I said quietly. You lost what you took for granted. That's different. I should have. She stopped, started again. I should have asked about the rent, about what you were paying, about all of it. Yes, I said, you should have. Can you forgive me? I thought about it, really thought. I don't know yet, I said honestly. But I can tell you this. I'm done being the son-in-law who stays quiet. I'm done being convenient. If you want me in your life, even peripherally, it's on my terms. With respect, with acknowledgement, or not at all. She nodded slowly. I understand. I stood, looked at Amy. Take care of her. Jason. Amy stood too. Thank you for coming. You didn't have to. No, I agreed. I didn't. I left before the tears could start. 6 months later, I'm sitting in my 1-bedroom apartment in White Plains. It's smaller than the house, quieter, entirely mine. My phone buzzes occasionally. Amy texts sometimes, updates on her mom, small talk, nothing heavy. I respond politely, distantly. Patricia sent me a card last month, handwritten, simple. Thank you for visiting. Thank you for everything you did that I never acknowledged. I'm sorry I saw you so late. I kept the card because here's what I finally understand. You can't force people to value you. You can't make them see what you contribute. You can only decide what you're willing to accept. For 3 years, I accepted being invisible because it was easier than demanding to be seen. But the day Patricia told me to leave, she accidentally gave me permission to stop accepting less than I deserved. She thought she was making space for her son. She was actually making space for me to remember I was worth more than silent compliance. The fear I saw in her eyes when the movers emptied that house wasn't about losing furniture. It was about losing control she never should have had in the first place.